Hello, my friends. This is a very awesome and very strange trip to India. India is one of the biggest countries in the world. With Here we are in New Delhi. We can see how heavy traffic it is. It's one of the biggest here. We visit Lotus Temple of Baha'i. Let me tell you some things and then let's go to these plans. It's one of the biggest countries in the world with landscape about 3.3 million square kilometers km, and is the biggest populated country of the world. 1.43 billion people. There are a lot of people. Here we are in New Delhi. We arrived. This is India Gate, but there was a parade this day, so there was a lot of military people, and in the very deep we can see India Gate, a monument for the independence after the British colonization back in 1948. So we arrived at Indira Gandhi International Airport. This is the biggest airport of the country. New Delhi. New Delhi is the second biggest city of the world with about 33 million people, and it's the most polluted city of the world also. Here's the way to uh, Agra. So we arrived late at night, about 3 o'clock in the morning, a.m. So we after we passed our passport controls, which was very slow, and they wanted to check us to check our visa. Visa, you have to have e-visa, and you can. I recommend to have multiple entries because we left India and we came back again, and we went to Nepal. If uh, I knew it better and organized this journey better, I will have more destinations, some ships from India nearby, like Dhaka, Bangladesh, or places like this. So we booked after that, after we arrived, we had an appointment at 7 o'clock in the morning. We have booked via Viator application, a trip, a 3-day trip. This is our hotel, very luxurious at Agra. Uh, it is at the beginning of the 2023, and the weather is very cool. It's about 20 degrees. You don't need actually heavy clothes. So we have booked via application the Golden Triagle. So we have an driver to expect us and an appointment at 7 o'clock in the morning. Between these hours, don't have to leave. Here is the way to Taj Mahal. Our way to Taj Mahal. It's the external territory of Taj Mahal. So we have booked this triangle, the luxurious one, 3 days, 5-star hotels, and first of all we had to visit all the monuments at New Delhi. And all the monuments, usually you pay them usually in cash, and after that we headed the same day to Agra, which is a town about 220 km from New Delhi. This is the entrance to Taj Mahal. Here you pay some amount. This is Taj Mahal. You pay to have footage or photos of Taj Mahal, but from this point you can have footage after this point. So my footage is only from away, from a distance. So we have visited some monuments in New Delhi this morning, but we were asleep and not so concentrated. The first one was Qutub Mihar, but they didn't allow us to have footage. We just have only footage with our cell phones or some photos. So this is one Taj Mahal is the biggest attraction of India. It's a monument, actually a mausoleum, a grave that Shah Jahan built it back in 1648. It was finished 1651. It's 73 meters long, tall, and it's in this city, Agra. This monument, this mausoleum, is dedicated to his wife, Mumtaz Mahal, who died giving the birth to the 14th child of this couple. This is how it is. I have a lot of footage. After that, we visit a fortress at Agra. This is how it is in India. The distances, and this are the shops. This is the city of Agra. A lot of noise, a lot of horns. In a while, we will hear the horns and the noise, and it's very crowded and packed everywhere. So there is something significant that is when you have to move a distance about now we're going from Agra to Jaipur, which is about 250 km, the road to Jaipur. So usually in normal countries you need about 2 hours driving to reach these places, but in India you need about 6 hours because there is a traffic jam and a lot of people on the ways, a lot of cows, a lot of stoppings. Now here is a cow, a lot of stoppings. There are no parking lots, and the cars and the drivers stop everywhere. So everything is jammed. This is Jaipur. I love this city. Jaipur is about 267 km from New Delhi. New Delhi is the capital city of India. And here are some other monuments, very nice flea markets. We were very brave here, and we went. Our driver went us to a local restaurant. I think it's called Inheritance, and we tried without any sequence bad result the day after tomorrow, and we test local cuisine. It was January of the 2023, and there was a parade everywhere, festivities everywhere in India. I can't remember why, so there was a lot of people in the streets, a lot of army and parades. This is the way. These are the local taxis. We used Uber. It is very cheap, but it's very slow. It's so heavy jammed and a lot of traffic everywhere. So you need to have patience to move. So, I went with a friend of mine, Dimitris, Jim, and we were talking about the driving skills they have in India, and we admit together that we couldn't manage to drive there over 2 minutes. This is Kanvar Palace. One of the most visited places in Jaipur. Jaipur has about 3 million people. It's a small town in India. Only 3 million. This is very well preserved. And now we are preparing to go to another one monument in Jaipur. In India, everything is cheap except from drinking. Here there are local combras, some combras dancing. I don't know if these snakes are drunk so they won't bite. This is our way to a palace and some local temples. A lot of monkeys. This is the Visakura temple and palace, and we stop here to see some a temple and to feed some monkeys. I don't know the kind of monkey. I'm not that expert, but they look like very lovely animals. But I wouldn't try to pet them because they bite. I don't know what will happen if you must visit a hospital in India. This is the before the bite, and after is what will happen visiting, what will happen to you visiting a local hospital in India. These are some ruins, fresh water, of course. The past times I didn't want to visit. Here is the palace, the Visimpura Palace, Jaipur. These are some elephants. We can have a ride with them. Actually, I'm avoiding riding animals during my journeys. Apart, I have some. I don't want to. Sometimes I ride. This is the view from the above. Sometimes I ride camels, I wanted to say. I remember here they needed a ticket entrance. The prices in the price of this triagle there weren't these entrances to the visiting places, museums or palaces, and they accepted, as I remember, credit card. So, the past times, I didn't want to hear about visiting India. I found a very good a flight about 600 euros with, no, 500 euros with Etihad. So I stopped at Abu Dhabi. It's about 3 hours from Abu Dhabi to New Delhi. So I decided to go there, and I was surprised because I liked very much visiting India. Apart from pollution and things like this, a lot of noise. It's a noisy people. They are noisy people, but I like the culture. I like the people. I felt safe. I didn't felt any criminality. The places was were very different as we have used here in the Western countries. So I highly recommend. I don't highly recommend to have street food because our stomach, our bellies are very sensitive to these herbs they put in or water. When we were in Delhi, when we have our shower, we tried not to taste water. We have only drinkable water from the bottle. So we didn't taste any water because sometimes water is very bad for the stomach. Gastroenteritis, called in Greek, and I think in English. This is Kanvar Nagar Palace. It's in the city center of Jaipur. Jaipur have also a very good market to buy clothes. They have very good cotton clothes. They are famous for their cotton in India. So I bought very, very cheap a lot of things. This is the palace, Kanvar. There was a small museum inside here. I think all these palaces are were made from local governors, and this is how the, they usually describe how what were their living habits. The most famous person in India is Gandhi. Gandhi, who led India to its independence from British colonization back in 1948. One of the greatest figures of modern history, Gandhi, one of the greatest philosophers. I admire Gandhi. Here is a local eating. Our driver, who was very kind and very helpful, recommended this to us. This day we stayed 2 days. This day in Jaipur we were very lucky because in this restaurant there they have a party, a wedding party. So this was our last night here at Jaipur. We went back to New Delhi. We spent for to 250 km. We spent about 6 hours to go back to New Delhi, and After New Delhi, we decided to go for 3 days to Nepal, Kathmandu, Nepal. Well, I was very surprised because the trip was very, very good. Totally different going to European countries. Apart from food or some of our living habits, everyday habits, was great here. And in a while, I'm going to show you one of the most packed places in the world. I don't know the name. It was recommended by TripAdvisor. It's a place, a flea market, where were millions of people. Actually, it isn't the most packed place I have ever been. This is a local market near to our hotel. I tried breakfast at my hotel. This is how it is. A lot of gold, a lot of clothes. My friend tried to have money from an ATM. This is this packed place I told you before. Tried to have money from an ATM near our hotel, and its bank cancelled his card. So I recommend not to try with your national credit cards to have money from an ATM, apart from Revolut. Revolut, it's okay. Here it isn't so packed, but there were times because we spent few hours. This is how it is, this market. It was about 2 hours from our hotel. Our hotel was very close to the city center. We used Uber. It was about 11 km from our hotel, and we paid about two euros from this Uber. We spent about 2 hours to get there. Uber was very cheap and very good there. Actually, it isn't the most packed place I have ever been. Shibuya, this is the second. Shibuya in Tokyo, Japan, is the most packed place I have ever been. But it's completely different. Everything in Japan is crystal clear, clean, very clean. It's very. Here's a protest. I don't know why. I remember that we have a difficulty living there and finding an Uber because it was so packed. We couldn't find Uber. So this was my journey to India. I highly recommend, but be prepared to leave all your habits behind and have some new habits here. I'm referring to eating habits or how can you have a shower. Thanks for watching this video.